Okay, all right, here goes nothing. My name is Cruz Hill. This is my 1964 Impala Super Sport convertible. So the body's on the rotisserie right now. I made this rotisserie in 2004. There's quarter panels are aftermarket. They're only tacked in place. The quarters are tacked in place. Here's the tail light replacement. It's only tacked into place. These are made from Dynacorn quarter panels. Inside my trunk, I can't open it right now because it's hitting against the rotisserie, but inside that trunk, the trunk panels, the upper trunk panel and the lower trunk panel are both replacement parts, but they, from sitting for so long, they have a lot of surface rust, okay? The inner and outer rocker panels are been replaced too, and again, they've gotten surface rust. I think I did a really great job on those inner and outer rocker panels as far as placement and getting them all welded in. They don't look too good right now, but the original inner and outer rocker panels for the convertible have like another piece of metal. It's just like another thin, flat, horizontal layer that goes in there to reinforce for the convertible. I couldn't get that. I couldn't find that replacement at the time, so I was able to fit a rectangular steel tube in there, which is I think a 2-inch wide by by 3-inch tall, and that inner tube sits in there perfectly. It goes all the way from here all the way past by the yellow strap on the quarter panel. You can't see it because it's in there, but it fits in there perfectly, and I spot welded it underneath. And then here's some areas that I need to spot weld to that tube. But you can see where I have unfinished work. That's where I started grinding down my weld a little bit, but I still have all that. That's from the inner and outer rocker panel. You can see where I cut the floor that does attach. It gets spot welded to that area right there in the rocker. I cut that off because I need to replace that floor. I need to go from that seam all the way, and then all that seam, and then take it all out. I did brace when I was doing all this work. I've always had these braces in there, this square tubing, and then I put that X bar in place. Goes all the way down to the bottom, all the way down here, and it goes right up here. So maybe overkill on that X frame. And that X, that's where the door goes. But at the time back then, there wasn't a bunch of YouTube and all that, and I did the best I could, and to hold it together. And that's where that's what I did for the bracing. So I don't know. Okay, now back to the quarter panel. The quarter panel was just spot welded in the inner door jamb. Boy, it got kind of like, the picture got real blurry right there. I don't know what happened. There it is. So the quarter panel, on both sides are just spot welded in place. Now, here's the breakdown. When I first got the car, you had your typical rust on the bottom. I'm going to get this yardstick so I can point what I'm talking to. On the original car, I had the basic surface rust right in here and right in here, okay? At the time, I didn't know how to weld thin metal very well. And I wasn't certain and comfortable that I could weld butt weld and make a continuous weld on thin sheet metal that good. Boy, my camera is messing up on me. I wasn't adjusting. Sorry about that. So to make a long story short, instead of just grafting that in, I chose to replace the whole quarter. Reason being, when I seen that rust, when I would look inside my trunk, on the inner part of this quarter panel, like on the top areas, it was all brown. So I figured, well, you know what? The right way to do is to replace the whole quarter. And being that I wasn't the greatest at welding thin sheet metal and a butt weld in a continuous lengths, I figured the easiest thing to do was to get the whole quarter panel that just gets spot welded into the door jamb area, which makes sense. It would seem like that'd be the easier way, just to spot weld into the door jamb area, and then it's all good. The problem is, whenever I got that quarter panel from Dynacorn, whenever I put it into place, nothing lined up. All my gaps were messed up. Right now the gap is pretty huge because the body is off. The body's on this rotisserie, so it's making that gap real big. When the body was originally on the chassis, this back area on the trunk, the gap where the trunk meets the quarter panel, literally it literally does touch metal to metal. And then as you go up, it opens, and then it has even a little drop. Like it's just really, really awkward the way it lines up in there. And then on this other side, whenever it was on the frame, the gap was a little bit better. So what I did is I never proceeded to finish welding my quarter panel complete, because obviously I was unhappy with those gaps in touching, and there's no way I was going to I tried to bend it, try to push it, do all these things. I just didn't know what to do. So, life gets a hold of you, and I didn't do this for a living. This was my hobby. Throughout the years, I ended up getting 3 back surgeries, and here we are, 2023, and my car's been sitting like this for forever. But now what I've learned is these aftermarket quarter panels, what happens is whenever the original dies that they use to stamp these replacement panels, the dies are worn and they're old, and every place where the bends are, where it goes into the door jambs or the jambs, like the trunk jamb right here, and then the actual door jamb, all those areas, the bends from those used dies that they had, they're not coming out crisp. So you have no choice but to work them, meaning you have no choice but to cut, to make a splice, like a long cut in them, and then re-weld everything to make your gaps fit. At the time, I didn't even know that, and I wasn't willing to do all that because I was just unexperienced with the welding. And now that I know what to do, I know I need to make some cuts and re-weld. What I got going up here, sorry, it's my first video and I'm getting a little nervous. This is where this quarter panel, they only make these quarter panels to fit a hardtop, and you have to modify them to fit the convertible. So this is the convertible area back here, the way a convertible goes. And then these original quarter panels don't do that. So I had to cut this original quarter panel like along this body line. As you can see right there, like that, I cut that, and then I cut it right here to weld in. Well, I am learning that it's not good to make square cuts like that to weld, because I forget why, but I just know you're supposed to do more of a rounded around it area. Something about the way the weld is when you start getting to the corner, the pressure it puts, something like that. I understand, but I don't know how to explain it. So what this little stupid bar is right here, when I did cut that quarter panel, that's my body line right here. So that started going flimsy. And when I want to weld these two together, I did not want that body line to be going like, you know, all kinds of little wavy ways, because I have seen cars at car shows, really beautiful paint jobs and everything, but then when you look down on the side of them right in here where that body line is, that body line goes all kinds of wavy ways, and it's not nice and straight like the original, like if it would be like just going straight like that. So I don't know, maybe if anybody has a better idea for me to be able to spot weld that in. Do I scrap this quarter panel, just start over and install it a different way to what I have going on right here? That's what I'm thinking. And then as far as in here, I know when I do get to that point that I will have to make probably a slice somewhere where this yardstick is at. I'm just kind of pointing it out. I'll have to slice it little by little, and then I'll have to get my gap with perfect 3/16 of an inch, and then just spot weld, and do a little bit at a time, going up all the way up top till I achieve a perfect 3/16 gap all the way coming down. So hopefully I haven't talked too much, but I do want to do my car the right way. And me and my daughter, Alexi, she's only 17. She's willing to take this project on with me. This is going to be her car as well. And she's like, Dad, let's do it. So here I am, trying to get back, see if I can save this car. Anyway, it's probably kind of not the greatest video. I'm trying to use my phone. But anyways, any help is appreciated. I don't know, I'm making this video for advice I can send to people, show people. I don't know, it's a start. Thank you.